Okay, so far we have seen how to run containers, how to create images, how to copy files, how to run commands, how to run your application, and how to extract a file. Okay, now one of the most important facts about Docker is data persisting. Okay, uh, as we saw, there are different types of data persistence techniques. So, first we will look at volumes. Okay, so for that, let me close my old terminals and I will fire up a new one. Okay, so we will start a Redis database. Okay, and what better way to show the importance of storing data other than a database? That's great. So for that, I will say docker run -d minus p, and I will do 8080 colon 6379 because Redis natively runs on 6379 port. I will give it name Redis, and then we run Redis. Very simple. It will download the image. This might take some time. Okay, so Redis is running on port 8080. Cool. But it is a database. We need a client to access the database. So for that, I will run docker run -d minus, I don't remember what was the port number for Redis Insight. Okay, for the client. So capital P. Okay. One quick thing. We have been using -p and we have been mapping our localhost port to the container port. You can do that when you know which container port the application inside the container is going to be running on. I'm not sure what is the port number for the Redis client that I will be using. So for that, we use capital P. What that does is it assigns a port from your host machine randomly to the actual port that the application is using inside the container. So you don't have to worry about it. So right now I'm just using capital P because I don't remember it, and I will give it the name Insight because that is the name of the image of the database client that we will be using. So the image is Redis Insight. Okay, let's run it. Okay, so we have two containers running. One is our database and another is our database client. Great. I will go to the okay. So this is currently running on our localhost. I will connect to our database and here we will be using host.docker.internal, and here I will be using port 8080 and then test connection Okay. Oh, by the way, host.docker internal. What does that mean? Your database client is running inside a container. Similarly, your Redis is running inside a container. So, if I gave host address as 8080, the database client will search for port 8080 inside its client. Inside its own container. But we don't want the client to search inside its container. We want it to search for the 8080 port on the host machine. And then what this tells it is, instead of looking inside the container, go to the shared network and then connect to the host port 8080. Okay, we have our database over here. I will click this. Now I will add a key. Let's say I'm adding string. So key name is name. I will say your code galaxy. Okay, no worries. Okay, so this is a database. The key is name. The key is name and the value is your code galaxy. Okay. Let's add one more. I will go to string. I will enter the key name, address, and I will say India. Okay, so I have name, your code galaxy, I have address, India. Cool, no worries, all nice. Okay, now let's shut down the database for now. I will shut down the database. Okay, and I will also delete this. Okay, now let's run the Redis database container one more time. Okay, so exactly the same command. The name of the container is going to be the same. The port mapping is going to be the exact same. So everything is same. Okay. Okay, let's go back to database. I will one time, let's verify if the connection is fine. Okay, connection is fine. If I go inside, you see, key with this name does not exist. The data is not there. If I refresh this, it's actually empty. That means we lost our data. Okay, let's solve this problem. I will -f Redis. I will remove this. Now, this is what we are going to do. We will create a volume. Okay, so let's create a volume. Docker volume create my volume. Okay, we created my volume. Now I will attach this my volume to my Redis database. So docker run same -d -p 8080 :6379. Fine. The same command. Wait, let's do the same command. Okay, this is exactly the same command. The only change that we are going to do is I'll do -v my volume colon slash data. That's it. Okay, we have attached our volume. We go back to our databases. We hit refresh. Let me verify the connection one time. If the database is up, yes, the database is up. Okay. And we will do the same thing. I will say string. I will say country. I will say India. Okay. I will say string. I will say name. I will say your code galaxy. Cool. I have my country and I have my name. Great. Now let's take the database away. So first I will do docker stop. Just let me refresh this once so that Redis is a in-memory database, so it doesn't immediately write to the storage. It writes to its memory RAM first, and periodically it unloads the RAM into the actual storage. So that is the reason why we are not directly deleting the Redis container. We are stopping it and then we will be deleting it. So this is basically called a graceful shutdown. So I am saying docker stop Redis. Okay, and now I will say docker rm Redis. Notice we have already stopped the container, so we don't need to use the -f force flag. Okay, we will go and check. Okay, only my client is there, database client, but the database is gone. Cool. Now let's run the Redis container one more time, and we are attaching the same volume. Okay, this is up. I'll go to the database. Let's first verify the connection. Connection is perfect. We go to Redis and the data is still there. This is why we use volume. Even after your container was gone, the data actually persisted, it stayed. And I will show you a very fun thing. As we discussed, volumes and bind mounts are essentially internally same. Both use storage on your host machine, but volume is basically managed storage. So Docker takes care of everything, storing the data and everything, and attaching and everything. In bind mounts, you have to manage your storage and folder and everything. Okay, let me show you this data, where this data is actually. So we will go here. So you will, since you have installed Docker, you will have this Linux WSL section. Inside there, you can go to, I forget, was it in mount? Host. Hold on, I'm trying to remember. Where was it? Run root procedure, not dev, not etc. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Not here. Not lib. Is it in media? No. Is it in mount? Host? Disk? Data? Docker? Volumes? And my volumes. Okay. Okay. So this is the path. This is the path. Disk. This is where. And this is where the data is. Dump.rdb. Redis database file. Okay. Hope this was useful. On to the next demo.